Good morning, afternoon, grand rising to everyone. This is Dr. Nadeep L coming back to you. Basically, some updates of what's going on as far as what you should look out for in the Virginia University of Lynchburg doctorate program. The past couple of years, I have heard basically some cohorts have got into academic probation or suspended via for plagiarism, and it's basically through AI, which is artificial intelligence, something rather new. What's going on that's hasn't really been an issue before, but it's almost like the same type of software. So like before, if you copy and paste something, that was pretty much AI telling on you or reporting you. So what's been happening is with your Grammarly subscription, Grammarly will give suggestions to rearrange sentences or phrases and things of that nature. And what's going on is that that's been used to basically um, ding you for plagiarism via AI. Isn't that something? Um, so with the Grammarly subscription, right? On your depending on what type of browser you're using. So I predominantly use Chrome. Uh, use Chrome on your Grammarly subscription. You look to the far right, and there are some options. The second one is AI detection. Now you have to have a subscription in order to be able to use that. Um, I understand sometimes you have so many other things you have to pay for, and you don't want to necessarily pay for a subscription. However, it's highly contingent on you using that. Using Grammarly, you have to have the subscription. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use the AI detection option. So, just like most universities, they use Grammarly to correct your essays or projects. Also, they use Turnitin, and basically Turnitin uses is the same thing as far as AI detection and things of that nature. With that being said, I went through the program, so I know that Grammarly will give you suggestions on how to change a sentence or the way how it's structured or phrases. You could get dinged for using AI for something like that for whatever reason. But keep in mind that sometimes Grammarly gives suggestion and it doesn't make the sentence flow or the paragraph flow correctly or the paragraph structure. So really, you should be using Grammarly for making sure, say for instance, um, punctuation, things of that nature. If a colon is supposed to go someplace, this, that, and the third, but not necessarily how to write. Um, this is a once, I don't say once in a lifetime, but it's something when you're in that moment um, to take advantage of it and use every resource possible. With that being said, it might not be a bad idea to hire an editor. If you need help with that, or especially with the research practicum, and a lot of that is highly contingent on knowing how to, or knowing the structures or and how to write a dissertation. Okay, so if you haven't done that before, then it's highly important for you to find the people who know how. You know, um, you don't want anything to come between you and graduating on time and things of that nature. So it's important for you to use all the resources that that you can come across. Obviously, there's me. You can always reach out to me. I started this so people wouldn't have the same type of struggles other people had in the program. But also, I mean, at this point, there's thousands of us on LinkedIn. Hopefully, you're part of one of the VUL groups. And, you reach out to them and say, hey, how did you tackle this issue as far as writing and things of that nature? What most of us will not do is to tell you, exactly, word for word, how to tackle the Harvard Business Review case analysis. But we would try to guide you in the right direction. Because obviously this program is geared towards people to be leaders in their field, as some of you are. This is basically to give you more tools based on research. People who research what works best practices, when it comes to innovation and change. And bring about change. So no one wants to steal that struggle from you or coming up with those great ideas. Um, and so just keep that in mind when you're writing these. That uh, the AI portion of Grammarly will basically set you up to fail if you're not careful. So like I said before, you could write something and it'll give you a suggestion to change it. You still gotta read it over again, read the paragraph over again to make sure it makes sense. Sometimes it'll tell you something, and if you go for that, and then it does the paragraphs, all of a sudden your thought, whatever you were trying to get across, it changes it, and that's not something you want to do. I remember, and this is how I found out. To be honest with you, I don't remember if it was 802 or 803, but I remember distinctly it was Dr. Hammond, and he said to me, "Don't depend so heavily on Grammarly because it can still mess you up." And that's what it did, because it's like I wrote something, I took the suggestion, and then after I basically got red inked on it, I read it over again. I said, "Oh man, I should have read that again." You know, um, and it can be a bit arduous trying to do this by yourself. I don't necessarily have anyone to take time to read over my work. Some people don't like to read. Imagine not having a partner that doesn't like to read. So that's basically what I had. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to take the time to go and say Wise Ant, or there are a couple of other ones I don't have right in front of me, but if you need the information, I can send it to you. To find great tutors on writing, but more importantly, research writing and things of that nature. So um, I became good at research because my graduate degree was public health. So basically everything you're going to have to do in the research practicum and things of that nature when it comes to writing citations and making sure your reference page is APA. Um, I learned that by reading the APA book in Masters of Public Health. Also, I'm not sure if I said this in a previous video. You can also use a site called Purdue OWL. Purdue OWL will give you the correct citations to add and correct bibliography or reference page to have it structured correctly. Now, keep in mind, if you use that, copy and paste it, it will show up on Grammarly as probably AI, and also that you copy and paste it. You get what I'm saying? So it's almost as if you have to do like what people did back in the day, before there was such thing as a computer and everything like that, to write everything out yourself. You know what I mean? So what you could do is, you know, have Purdue OWL, um, formatted correctly, maybe print it out or something, and then you know, write it manual, or type it in the way how you see it. That's probably the best way you can do to keep your percentages down, because you run into this problem earlier when you get to say like research practical. I guarantee if it's the same instructor I had, forget about it, man. You know what I mean? Too much time and money to be wasted on that. Also, if you did not know that Word, most words from version 7 on up has a option to do your citations for you and to create your bibliography for you or your reference page. If you do not know how to do that, reach out to me, and we could probably link up via Zoom or something like that, and I can show you how to do it. But you're going to have to maybe spend a little money to get the right people, as far as like, if you need an editor or something like that, to reach out to those people who does that professionally. You know what I mean? As well as people to help you uh, do your research correctly as well. Because in this program, you're expected to know how to figure it out. I won't say it's expected if you know how to do it, but they expect you to figure it out. You know what I mean? So there is that. Also, I haven't been on here in a while. I just want to say thank you to everyone who donated to the Cash App on my channel. I used that money around this year to get things for the homeless. If you did not know, homeless people, they really need socks, and men. Well, everyone needs socks, and females, they need bras and things of that nature. So keep that in mind if you ever want to give things. So and underwear. So something that a lot of places do not give them. Socks is very important. I believe that's it. Everything I was going to cover. As usual, you can always send a comment or something like that. Although I don't upload videos that often, I do check and read comments and things of that nature, and try to answer them as soon as possible. So good luck to everyone, and I hope that you make it through. So, oh, I almost forgot, if I haven't said this already. You can always reach out to there are quite a few groups, VUL groups, that you can join. A lot of them have are kind of a little older, so a lot of people when they have graduated is what I'm saying. And you can always try reaching out to them. At this point, it's at least 1,000 of us, if not more, 2,000, that could help you out. They probably won't tell you exactly what to do, but they will at least guide you in the right direction, and so is I. So good luck to everyone, and happy holidays if you celebrate that. Thanks. All right.